Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas. I think we'll keep some. We'll keep some. They are coming. Okay, those who are yet to light lamps, please come up. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech more coming. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions. Okay, please, those who did not light the lamps, please come up. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma. I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all the living mysteries gloom. Okay, thank you. Please take your seats. Okay, setting a proper motivation, which consists of three parts: refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. For the refuge field, what to visualize and how to visualize. Visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened beings who you see as the inspiration for your practicing compassion, for your practicing the wisdom of emptiness. And how you visualize them. They are like very affectionate parents, and imagine that you come home demoralized. As a very young child, you come home demoralized from school, bullied by elder children, and your parents are waiting there to give you full love, affection, and attention. And Bodhicitta field. Visualize your two parents on the two sides and all the other beings around you, including children. And how you visualize them. Here you are the mother and all others are like your children. And imagine they come home demoralized and you are there to give full love, affection, attention and praise. And the purpose of this practice is to awaken this beautiful Buddha nature, the seed of perfect happiness, the perfect state of happiness that exists within you, to awaken Buddha nature, that proliferating Buddha nature, and the natural Buddha nature, by resorting to the wisdom of emptiness, driven by the force of bodhicitta, which is grounded on renunciation. With our mind, let's turn to page 3. And imagine that you are leading this, and all sentient beings are joining you. And through your great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha with Dharma, I pay homage. And through your great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha with Dharma, I pay homage. And through your great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha with Dharma, I pay homage. So from this stanza, you will see the summary, the essence of the teachings of Buddha there. And through your great compassion. Compassion is one of the wings. And the other wing is you taught the immaculate Dharma, that is the wisdom, the Dharma of the wisdom. So these two things, the compassion and the wisdom, these are two wings for you to cross the ocean of samsara to its ultimate happiness. Okay, this is how, so all the stanzas that we picked up, they are picked up out of of course with a great purpose and great reason, and the profundity involved. So they just see how you can encapsulate the teaching of the Buddha very comprehensively in these stanzas. Okay, the next. Sanje judan zoge jonam na chanjo bardo dane yazo je dage jinso yebe sonam ge dola penjire sanje rubaran sho Sanje judan zoge jonam na chanjo bardo dane yazo je dage jinso yebe sonam ge Lola Benjir Sanje Rubarasho Sanje Jodan Soge Chonam Na Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Lola Benjir Sanje Rubarasho I go for refuge. I'm soon enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the constant Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes souls helping my greatest to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps the tourists expand a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated baptism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers who guard and protect her, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the past and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence I chant the mantra of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tatha yavatat Desham chayo nirodam Evam vati mahashramanaya swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam Hetum tesham tathagato yavatat Desham chayo niroda Evam vati mahashramanaya swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-lighted, non-composite. Such is the nectar that Dharma have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times of existence. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrating drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of periods of aeons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove the miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. In fact, the last stanza, this is the taught by the progenitor of the Sakya tradition, Sajin Goyingbo. He taught this. This is a really blessed. In fact, it was the instruction that he received from Arya Geshe. So this again encompasses the all teachings of Buddha. If you're attached to this life, you're not a spiritual practitioner. In the first place, to a spiritual practitioner, the sense of total obsession to this life. Oh. Okay. The sense of total obsession to this life, just thinking about this life's wealth, power, happiness, and so forth. Of course, this life is very important. Meanwhile, not to forget the long-term plan. That is the spiritual practitioner. Then if you attach to samsara, you have no renunciation, which means the ground for the Dhamma practice is think of to have some plan for the future plans, meaning long-term plan, the enlightenment, full freedom from the total awakening, total freedom from the fears of samsara and so forth. And then the next step is the renunciation. Not just to think about the future, but the total awakening in terms of being freed from samsara, of the wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Then you have attached to your own self-interest. You have no bodhicitta. That is looking for the maximum happiness. So maximum happiness not possible without bodhicitta. If there's selfishness there, then the bodhicitta is not possible, without which the infinite happiness is not possible. The second one is for the fearlessness. Without renunciation, fearlessness is not possible. Without bodhicitta, infinite happiness is not possible. If there is grasping, you do not have that view. So how to materialize the aspiration, two aspirations, renunciation, seeking fearlessness, bodhicitta, seeking total happiness or Buddhahood. The perfect happiness or the Buddhahood. These two aspirations will be fulfilled only if you have the wisdom. So the fourth one, if there is grasping, you don't have to wisdom. If you're grasping at things to be objectively real, you don't have to wisdom. So again, look, so beautifully they put all these teachings of the Buddha in just one stanza. Okay. Page 12, praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and full awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, beg offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pace out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, flame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Allah, to you I prostrate. With a supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Just be like you, the 3 worlds are not, incompatible wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you that the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower ends, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly, this is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or bubble, a dream, flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. For these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Okay, Heart Sutra, page 24. Page 24, Heart Sutra. As you recite this, 3 points not to miss. 1, what's the question asked by Shariputra to Aravalokteshvara? Number 2, what's the response given by Aravalokteshvara to Shariputra? And then number 3, what's the benefit if we implement or if we practice as indicated or as taught by Shariputra in terms of by seeing everything like a dream, by seeing that nothing really exists objectively. So what's the benefit? The benefit is that we will all the fears of a life will dissolve. We will be freed from all fears of life. Okay. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on the Masa of Palchas mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the perfect activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aravalokteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage, activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Empty form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, a mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Deyatha Om Gade Gade Para Samgade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from their concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aramadukeshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharitvatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aramadukeshvara, those around in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. Okay, as we say this mantra 7 times, let us visualize the Buddha Shakyamuni so compassionately exhorting us thus. Don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come to us ultimate happiness. The more you can visualize these, the effect of the mantra will be felt. Then as you hear this melodious voice of the Buddha Shakyamuni, then you inspire your parents, your children, and all family members that look, this is what a compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting us. Let us not remain in the fears of samsara anymore. Let us all go towards ultimate happiness. And hearing this, all the sentient beings are so happy. They so happily join you in this journey of cleansing the mind to discover this treasure of the Buddha nature within you, to experience the ultimate, the fearlessness and expansive happiness. Okay, so you are leading this. Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Deyata Om Gade Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha Deyata Gade Para Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Swaha. by the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may in and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, the 8 verses of mind training, 8 verses of training the mind. This is primarily to give space for compassion to arise within us. And what blocks us from generating compassion is the opposite force of compassion, which is anger. So the anger is given rise to by the self-referential ego. So how to crush the self-referential ego and how to boost the cause of the compassion, the say self-confidence. So there are two things there, self-confidence and the self-referential ego, which means the ego and the self-confidence. These are two things. Oftentimes we equate these two. So somebody who is when we say that, oh, he's very self-confident, we're not too happy. He must be also the egoistic, meaning that confidence and the ego, oftentimes they go together. When somebody is very self-confident, ego is also very high. And when we say, oh, that person is very kind, very gentle, no ego, then it might be good to give the high position to that person. No, he is not self-confident. So no ego means no self-confidence. This is how the ordinary people see this. Now and this is how it works. Generally speaking, how it works. Ego and the self-confidence, these two work together. When the self-confidence is higher, ego is also higher. When the ego is less, self-confidence is also less. This is a very unfortunate state. When this is happening, this is a sign of the ordinariness. How do you demarcate between an ordinary person and an evolved person? Somebody where the ego and the self-confidence, these two are working hand in hand, is an ordinary person. Where the self-confidence goes up, ego also goes up. When the ego goes down, self-confidence also goes down. This is the ordinary person. Evolved person is somebody who crush the ego and boost the self-confidence. There's a tremendous self-confidence there, but ego is not there. This is the evolved person. So we all can do that. We all can do that. This is a very important indicator of how your Dharma practice is going. So over time, we see that the ego is going down and your self-confidence going up, which means you are a real Dharma practitioner. Whereas, whatever you do, where the self-confidence goes up, ego also goes up. Ego goes down, self-confidence goes down, which means that we are not a good Dharma practitioner. So that's how we can judge whether you are a good Dharma practitioner or not, but not on others, to yourself. Okay, page 27. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as since I have discovered the jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or on whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer a benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I recognize all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. So this last stanza is to boost our self-confidence. So stanza till stanza 8, that is to subdue the self-referential ego and boost the self-confidence. Now the next stanza is exclusively to boost the self-confidence. From my two collections, vast is space that will missed. From working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wish minds blind.